The air in courtroom 3B was thick. Every seat was taken, people standing along the back wall, all here for the show. On one side, Brandon Hale, a teenager with a model's face, expensive suit, and an air of boredom. Privilege personified. On the other, Mrs. Eleanor Delaney, a grandmother, retired teacher, hands folded, cane by her side, quiet dignity, pain flickering across her face. She wasn't here for drama. She wanted justice. The tension was palpable, a collision of two worlds. Brandon whispered to his slick lawyer, both exuding confidence. Money, to them, solved everything. They saw the courtroom as a marketplace, not a hall of justice. I looked out from my bench at the packed gallery, reporters poised. Would money win? Would the rich kid walk away, leaving Mrs. Delaney with the consequences? Not in my courtroom. Not today. Here, the truth comes out, no matter your wealth or your father's name. The scales of justice are blind, and I was here to keep them that way. The show was about to begin. Brandon's lawyer, Marcus Thorne, spun a tale of a minor misunderstanding. Brandon, he claimed, was a good kid, just distracted after a charity gala. But Brandon just smirked, showing no remorse. Mrs. Delaney had no lawyer, just the truth. She described the screech of tires, a red sports car pinning her to a wall, the arrogance of youth, the weight of pain. This was about respect. Thorne, the defense attorney, was a shark, picking apart Mrs. Delaney's story, questioning her memory, her injuries. He implied she was unstable, looking for someone to blame. Classic tactic. If you can't defend the facts, attack the person. Mrs. Delaney sat pale, hurt in her eyes as her character was dismantled. Her young public defender objected, but Thorne's insinuations lingered. The strategy: create confusion, reasonable doubt, so the case falls apart. Thorne spun a web, making it seem plausible this sweet old lady was exaggerating. Brandon watched, smug. This was what his father's money bought. But I've seen this before. I know how to see through the smoke and mirrors. Thorne was desperate, throwing everything at the wall. If he had the facts, he wouldn't need theatrics. He was performing because he had nothing else. The jury wavered, but I was waiting for the right moment to cut through the noise. As Thorne prepared another attack, I raised my hand. Enough, counselor. The courtroom fell silent. Thorne's rhythm broke, Brandon annoyed. Conflicting stories, I said. But what if we didn't have to rely on memory? I called for Exhibit C, a digital drive, submitted by an anonymous citizen. Thorne protested, but I clarified. Not from the prosecution, but a business owner's security camera. The court had reviewed it. It was relevant. Brandon's face drained of color. Thorne whispered furiously, but it was too late. The truth had found a way in, not through argument, but through a silent camera. Let's all watch together, I said. The web of lies was about to be torn apart by a few seconds of footage. This was the moment of truth. The video played. Mrs. Delaney walked peacefully. A red sports car swerved, tires squealing, jumped the curb. It was reckless, not accidental. The car slammed into the wall, pinning her. The brake lights flashed after the impact. The driver knew. The courtroom gasped. The most damning part. The car reversed. Window rolled down. Brandon's face visible. He looked at Mrs. Delaney, slumping in pain. He didn't help. He laughed, a short, cruel laugh. Then he sped away. The courtroom erupted in disgust. The mask was gone. The good kid was revealed as callous and cruel. Brandon sank into his chair, head in hands. Thorne stood frozen. All the legal maneuvering was meaningless now. How do you defend a laugh? The video ended, but the image lingered. Mrs. Delaney wept, not from pain but from cruelty. The jury stared at Brandon with contempt. The truth hadn't just come out, it had exploded. No more doubt, no more lies. Only the ugly reality. His gilded cage had become a real one. I let the silence sit. I wanted Brandon to feel the weight of every eye. "Mr. Hale, stand up." He rose, unsteady, eyes full of fear, not of getting caught, but of real consequences. "You didn't just hit this woman. You discarded her. You laughed, then drove away. That's not just negligence. That's a failure of character. 1 year in county jail, license revoked, full payment of medical bills, and community service in a trauma ward." The gavel fell, the sound of justice, a lesson long overdue. Brandon Hale's story became a headline, but the real story was about choices. He thought his father's money was a shield. He learned a courtroom isn't a department store. Justice isn't for sale. It's earned through honesty, paid for with accountability. This wasn't rich versus poor. It was right versus wrong. The rules of decency apply to everyone, no matter your car or your bank account. True wealth is living honorably, taking responsibility. The most powerful evidence wasn't a lawyer or a suit. It was a grainy security video. The unblinking eye of truth saw through the lies. In this world, you're always being watched, not just by cameras, but by your fellow citizens. People see. People care. The anonymous business owner who submitted the tape did it because it was right. Let this be a lesson. You can't outrun the truth. You can't buy a clear conscience or self-respect. Justice has a price, but it is never, ever for sale.
What's something people don't know about stories? They never truly end. There's always a new adventure waiting for you. Just pick your next tale and I'll meet you there. Subscribe to the Story Circle and let me know which story I should tell next in the comments.